We're talking about ghost towns, specifically the top 10 spookiest, eeriest, most fascinating ghost towns in the good old US of A. Each one has a story to tell, tales of boom and bust, of fortunes made and lost, and maybe, just maybe, a few restless spirits hanging around. So buckle up, grab your flashlights, and maybe a ghost detection kit if you're feeling extra. Let's get this ghost town road trip started. First up, we're heading to the dusty hills of California, to a little place called Bodie. Gold was discovered here in the 1850s, and boom, a town explodes out of the dirt. At its peak, Bodie was a Wild West boomtown, with nearly 10,000 people. But like most gold rushes, Bodie's luck eventually ran out. The gold veins dried up, people moved on to the next big thing, and Bodie became a ghost of its former self. Today, Bodie is a state historic park, preserved in a state of arrested decay. Walking through the empty streets, you can practically hear the echoes of those gold-crazed prospectors. People have reported all sorts of strange happenings here. Disembodied voices, objects moving on their own, even full-on ghost sightings. Is it the restless spirits of miners who never struck it rich? Or just the wind whistling through those old buildings? I guess you'd have to visit Bodie to find out. Our next stop takes us to Centralia, Pennsylvania, a town with a story as unsettling as it is fascinating. Centralia's got a different tale to tell. This town is practically sitting on top of a giant underground fire, a coal seam fire that's been burning for over 50 years. It started back in 1962, and it's been a slow burn ever since, literally. The ground cracked, noxious fumes spewed out, and eventually the town had to be evacuated. Imagine living in a place where the very ground beneath your feet is constantly smoldering. Today, Centralia is a ghost town in the truest sense, a modern-day Pompeii. The houses are gone, the streets are empty, and the air is thick with the smell of sulfur. Some say the fire will burn for another 100 years. Either way, Centralia stands as a testament to the enduring forces that shape our world. From a town on fire, we travel to a town swallowed by the desert Rhyolite, Nevada. Gold was discovered nearby in 1904, and like a prospector's fever dream, a town sprang up overnight. Rhyolite had it all: a stock exchange, electric lights, fancy, even a swimming pool. But just as quickly as it rose, Rhyolite fell. By 1916, the gold was gone, the mine shut down, and the town was deserted. Today, Rhyolite is a haunting collection of crumbling buildings, a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of fortune. The ruins, bleached white by the sun, stand like skeletal monuments to a bygone era. It's a place where you can almost feel the echoes of the past, the dreams and aspirations of those who sought their fortune in the Nevada desert. Next stop on our ghostly road trip, Jerome, Arizona. Perched precariously on the side of Cleopatra Hill, Jerome was once known as the wickedest town in the West. Jerome was a copper mining town, and where there's copper, there's usually a whole lot of, shall we say, colorful characters. At its peak, Jerome was booming. It had a population bigger than it does today, with folks pouring in from all over to get a piece of that copper fortune. But like all good things, the boom didn't last forever. As the copper ran out, Jerome slowly started to fade. People packed up, buildings were abandoned, and the town that was once bustling with life became eerily quiet. But here's the thing about Jerome: it didn't stay a ghost town. Instead of fading into oblivion, it found a second life as an artist colony and tourist destination. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're headed to Cahaba, Alabama, a town with a history as rich and layered as a slice of Mississippi mud pie. Now, Cahaba wasn't just any old town, it had the honor of being Alabama's very first state capital. Can you imagine that? This bustling center of commerce and politics right on the banks of the Alabama River. But fate, it seems, had other plans. You see, Cahaba had one major flaw: its location. Situated right in the floodplains of the Alabama River, Cahaba was constantly at risk of, well, flooding. Eventually, the folks of Cahaba decided they'd had enough of living with wet boots and soggy furniture. They packed up shop, moved the capital to Montgomery, and Cahaba was left to the mercy of the river. Today, Cahaba is a ghost town of a different sort. It's now an archaeological park, where you can wander amongst the ruins of old mansions and government buildings, imagining the lives of those who walked these streets before. Next stop on our spooky adventure takes us to Thurmond, West Virginia. You see, Thurmond was a railroad town. Back in its heyday, Thurmond was a bustling hub of activity, all thanks to its strategic location on the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. Thurmond was booming. It had hotels, restaurants, saloons, all the essential ingredients for a rip-roaring good time. But as with many things in life, Thurmond's fortunes changed with the times. The decline of the coal industry and the rise of diesel engines hit Thurmond hard. The trains stopped coming as frequently, the jobs dried up, and people started moving on to greener pastures. Today, Thurmond is a shadow of its former self, a ghost town frozen in time. Howdy partners! We're moseying on down to Terlingua, Texas, a town with a history as hot and unforgiving as the Chihuahuan desert that surrounds it. Now, Terlingua was once a bustling mining town, but they weren't digging for gold or silver here. Nope, Terlingua was all about that Mercury, also known as quicksilver. The discovery of cinnabar, the ore that contains mercury, brought a flood of miners and fortune seekers to this remote corner of Texas. Terlingua boomed, boasting a population of over 2,000 people at its peak. But like a fleeting desert rain, Terlingua's prosperity dried up. The demand for mercury declined, and the town that was once a hive of activity fell silent. Today, Terlingua is a ghost town with a twist. It's got a quirky charm with its crumbling adobe buildings and desert-worn landscapes. Bundle up folks, because we're headed north to the icy wilds of Alaska, to a place called Kennecott. Now Kennecott is not your average ghost town. It's not nestled in some dusty valley or perched precariously on a hillside. Kennecott was a copper mining town, and when I say copper mining, I mean serious copper mining. At its peak, Kennecott was a marvel of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity in the face of extreme conditions. But even the mightiest mountains crumble eventually. As the copper deposits dwindled, so too did Kennecott's fortunes. By the 1930s, the mines were played out, the company pulled up stakes, and the town was left to the elements. Today, Kennecott is a National Historic Landmark, a haunting reminder of Alaska's mining past. Get ready to pan for some ghost stories because we're headed to Garnet, Montana, a ghost town that's as charming as it is eerie. Nestled high in the Garnet Mountains, this former gold mining town is like stepping back in time. Word gets out that there's gold in them, they're hills of Montana, and boom, Garnet springs up practically overnight. For a while, Garnet thrived, but as with many gold rush towns, its boom was fleeting. The gold veins started to dry up and folks packed up and moved on to the next big strike. By the early 1900s, Garnet was pretty much deserted. Instead of being torn down or swallowed by the wilderness, it remained frozen in time, preserved by the dry Montana air and a good dose of luck. Last stop on our ghost town tour is St. Elmo, Colorado, a high-altitude haunt that'll send shivers down your spine. Perched high in the Sawatch Range of the Rocky Mountains, this former gold and silver mining town is a true ghost town gem. Picture this. It's the late 1800s and the discovery of gold and silver has sent prospectors scrambling high into the Colorado mountains. Among these towering peaks and rugged landscapes, St. Elmo was born. Word spread like wildfire about the riches to be found in St. Elmo, and soon, the town was booming. Miners, shopkeepers, families, they all flocked to this remote outpost, hoping to strike it rich and build a new life. For a few glorious decades, this high-altitude town thrived, but fate, as it often does, had other plans. As the mines started to play out and the silver crash of 1893 hit, St. Elmo began to decline. People packed up their dreams and moved on to more prosperous ventures, leaving behind a town slowly being reclaimed by the elements. Well folks, there you have it, our whirlwind tour of America's top 10 ghost towns. We've seen it all, from crumbling mining towns to a town literally on fire. These abandoned places are more than just empty buildings. They're time capsules, reminders of the past and the enduring power of nature. Thanks for joining us on this eerie journey through America's ghost towns. If you enjoyed this spooky adventure, be sure to give this video a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Until next time, keep exploring the unexplained.